walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been...
Murphy lives it in, and backstick is Isak. Whoa! Yes, people. It is a replay of the Carabao Cup final. It's Newcastle against Liverpool. Kick-off 8 o'clock. Should be a firecracker. But no Isak involved, of course. We'll talk about it in just a moment. Correct.
Time for cities and towns to start dreaming again. Walking in the footsteps of giants. I do not believe my eyes. This is extraordinary. Greatness awaits.
About 6 months on, then, people on the Carabao Cup final, we see Newcastle and Liverpool in action again. Good evening, everybody, folks, and welcome back aboard here, folks, to Realltom Football. My name is Tom, and I'm bringing you the watch along tonight for Newcastle to take on Liverpool live in the Premier League. If you do our watch stream on the replay, then please do make sure that you are leaving a like on the stream, hit that subscribe button if you are new. And thank you very much indeed, folks. Everybody joining us here today. And the kickoff is coming your way at 8 o'clock in the Premier League. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. It's Newcastle against Liverpool. Kickoff 8 o'clock. And it is our second headliner of this weekend. And yes, people, Carabao Cup final was the last time that these two played each other. Isak starred in it. Newcastle beat Liverpool, won their first trophy in over 70 years. And now we fast forward to today with Isak disrespecting and turning his back to Newcastle United FC, trying to leave Liverpool. Well, Liverpool are the opponents of Newcastle. Isak will not be involved. And my prediction today, Flicks, is Newcastle United 3, Liverpool 1. Because Liverpool have got an extremely weak defence this Premier League season, it appears. Really poor defensive display from Liverpool against Bournemouth. And it should add concern, really, to Liverpool fans. And Newcastle, perfect side, really, to be playing a side with a weak defence. And Arne Slot's changed his style. Well, it strengthened the midfield. But defensively, they were a mess against Bournemouth. Semenyo ripped them up, got them back to 2-2. And it was thank you very much. And, hands up in the air to Chiesa and Salah for those late goals. Because there's no way on planet Earth from a defensive point of view, Liverpool deserve to win that game. Yeah, you need to improve now because Victor Gyökeres is coming next week, and if you leave Victor Gyökeres one gap, Arteta said it. Gyökeres loves gaps. If you leave him a gap, he'll destroy you. Yes, keyword. He will destroy. Those are Arteta's words. Gyökeres will destroy you. If you leave him a gap, you left Semenyo gaps, and he destroyed you twice. But this guy, he's not Haaland. He's a different striker. He's a striker who will weave his way through gaps and just dribble a ball sideways across the edge of a box or whatever it may be and just absolutely lash one in. As we saw against Leeds. So, Liverpool need to shape up defensively. Because the best striker in the world is on his way to Anfield. Well, that's it. Virgil van Dijk was atrocious last week. If you've got Virgil van Dijk on the pitch and he leaves one gap, Gyökeres will score. It's as simple as that. Because the guy is, I don't know if you've watched his play, but he's constantly looking for little gaps and pockets of space. Like he's not just like, pocket of space, I'm going to go get into that. He's hunting, he's pushing forward all the time, trying to force pockets of space almost. Mr. B. Harry, welcome to you. How you doing, Ashit? Welcome aboard to you, mate. Right then, folks, the final game of this Premier League game week 2 and our headliner number 2 of this Premier League weekend is Newcastle against Liverpool at St James's Park. Let's take a look at your team news and your match information. Over we go to PremierLeague.com. Just to check on the league table before we go any further, folks. And it is Arsenal top 1 goal on goal difference above Spurs. And for Liverpool, if they were to win at Newcastle today, they would need a 5-goal win to get themselves top of the Premier League table, putting themselves on a +7 goal difference. So yes, on repeat, Liverpool will not be able to reach top of the Premier League table unless they win by 5-0 or more against Newcastle United today. So just one. So yes, you cannot sing "We're going to be top of the league" because unfortunately, Liverpool fans, you will need to win 5-0. Yeah, me and Charlie. And down at the bottom, it is West Ham United, the worst team in the Premier League, the side who already look like they're going to be relegated, down at the bottom. Newcastle, if they get the win today, that would put them onto 4 points. It would move them all the way as high as Nottingham Forest. Their goal difference is 0. I would say, yeah, 2 or 3 would be ideal for Newcastle. Get themselves to that top 4 most certainly. Just a singular point there would put them onto 2 points, and it would only move them as far as 13th. And of course, for these two sides, next weekend it is one heck of a game for Arsenal and for Liverpool at Anfield. It's too early for it. Too early in the season for it. The good news for Arsenal is that after that Liverpool game, we have got 2 straight home games, and they are against Nottingham Forest and Manchester City. But yes, dear help us at Anfield next week. Dear help us. Oh dear. Hopefully Gyökeres will cook, but I can't be so sure of that. Bets-wise, people, as well, before I get into the team news, there was I say slight, but it was a big issue with Ladbrokes today. I mean, I was in the shop. I was just about to place my bet builder for this game, and it appeared as though they completely crashed out. So yeah, massive issue with Ladbrokes in-shop devices, because every single machine in the store just crashed out of nowhere, and it was a global crash. So today's bet builder is placed with Betfred, not by choice, by force of Ladbrokes having a full-on meltdown in terms of technology failures. But Newcastle to win or draw, over 1.5 goals and under 12 corners. So yes, that bet builder is worth £2.65 for a £1 stake, and it is with Betfred and not Ladbrokes. Ladbrokes, like I said, have had a major issue with their technology and their bet stations. So Betfred is the bookie we've got in use tonight. Your defense is very, very weak. I think 3-1 to Newcastle. I don't know. I mean, even if your defense turns up, I still think Newcastle beat you. I just think Newcastle are too good at the minute. They should have slapped Villa. Villa have been shite. Oh dear. So Nick Pope in goal for Newcastle today. Back 4 of Tino Livramento, Dan Burn, Fabian Schär and Kieran Trippier playing behind a midfield 3 of Joel Linton, Sandro Tonali and captain Bruno Guimaraes. Front 3 today of Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon and Anthony Elanga. And on the bench for Newcastle is Lewis Hall, Sven Botman, Malik Fior, never heard of him, probably read his name out before, William Asula, Jacob Murphy, Joe Willock, Aaron Ramsdale on loan from Southampton, Jacob Ramsey, recently signed from Aston Villa, and Lewis Miley. And then for Liverpool is Alisson who begins in goal, a back four today. Interesting choice of Dominic Szoboszlai at right back, alongside Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk, with Milos Kerkez playing at left back. Midfield is split into two parts, seeing a defensive two of Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch behind an attacking three of Mo Salah, Florian Wirtz and Cody Gakpo. But leading in the front today is Hugo Ekitike. And on the bench is Joe Gomez, Wataru Endo, Conor Bradley, Federico Chiesa, Giovanni Leone, Harvey Elliott, Giorgio Mamadashvili, Andrew Robertson, and Rio Nugamoha. So, folks, this could go one of two ways. A Liverpool win, which in my opinion would be a shock. A draw, a boring draw, or an entertaining draw. Or Newcastle could absolutely hammer the living daylights out of Liverpool. And I am thinking today that will be the outcome. I just think Newcastle are too strong. And I think that Arne Slot's new style of play with Liverpool has weakened the defence. And I think that a team like Newcastle, particularly their home ground, will be able to absolutely destroy a weak defence like what Liverpool put on display against Bournemouth. So, intriguing game, a headline game, a repeat of last year's Carabao Cup final, but an Isaac-less repeat. And really, for Liverpool, you must say it's a game that they must win, really, because it's a difficult game on Sunday for both Arsenal and Liverpool. But I just feel like I said, I know that Arsenal don't do very well at Anfield, but for me, if Gyökeres turns up and that Liverpool defence doesn't, then that, for me, gives us a huge advantage. I mean, Virgil van Dijk was the worst player on the pitch for Liverpool last week. Konate was all over the place. Alisson's goalkeeping was poor. So it's going to be an interesting game today ahead of the big game on Sunday. And obviously, of course, me and Charlie on Friday or Thursday, whenever I choose to air the video, we'll be talking more about how Arsenal and Victor Gyökeres could hurt Liverpool at Anfield in our Premier League predictions. Once again, that will be featuring Charlie, and that will be airing on either Thursday or Friday at around about 6 o'clock. We have got Carabao Cup action, though, on Tuesday and Wednesday. And we are going to be, we're going to be overseeing round 2 of the Carabao Cup and also the round 3 draw to find out where I will be going with Arsenal for round 3. So Geordie's here. Big opportunity for Newcastle today. Big opportunity. I'm going 3-1. Let me know your scoreline predictions down below in the chat. It's a Monday night headliner. It's a Monday night treat at St James's Park. And Dan Burn, for sure, on this pitch now, was the star man, the boy from Blythe who opened the scoring and scored the goal, which got Newcastle one step closer to their first trophy in over 70 years. So, here we go then. Some people have referred it to as the Isak Derby. And I don't blame people for saying that. Newcastle fans very, very upset by Isak's actions. And I think he's a disgrace. So there was a big ring of boos ahead of kickoff, more or less directed at Isak and Liverpool. I think I'm going to need to take my phone to the phone shop tomorrow. It's got the slightest little issue, and it's just literally the left corner of my screen just come a bit loose. So Elanga's going to take the first corner of the game here. It's nothing major. But yeah, you can just kind of... It's just come loose. You can't properly see it, but yeah, it's like... See what I mean? Probably can't, but screen works fine, but yeah, just here. Bit loose. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's just a bit of glue. I think it needs glue. I think that's all it is. I mean, the phone's working fine. Yeah, it's going to probably cost me about 20 quid though, innit? I've got no doubt about it. Any phone shop, I'd love to charge me 20 quid to do that. Is that all it is? 5 quid? It's not too... Yeah, it's not that bad, but yeah. Just a little bit... If I put it, actually... Can you hear it clicking? Don't know if you can. I'm trying to put it as close to the microphone as I can so that you can... Can you hear it clicking? There is a ref cam, yes, tonight. I mean, yeah, anyway, I'm getting a new phone. However, I have just booked a holiday for after the international break. So the first week of September, I'm going to go on holiday. So now that my savings have been wiped out by that. Otherwise, I'd be looking at buying a new phone, really, to be fair. Yeah, I decided to put myself a nice little break again. I know what you're all thinking right now. Tom, you've been on holiday quite a lot. I haven't. I know it may sound like I've been on holiday a lot because I've been on 3 different trips, but those trips have been one night. This is probably going to be like a 3 night. I think it would be about 3 nights. I mean, anyway, my grandma's in Dublin, so I'm going to be a bit lonely. I'm going to be a bit lonely. Not going to lie. She's away for about I think it's about 11 days, 10 nights, 11 days. From Wednesday the 3rd. So that's... She probably went back to about... Well, I think... Be about 2 weeks on Saturday, I think. I don't know. Anyways. So, yes, if you do want to keep me company from the 3rd of September, I would appreciate it. Because I'm going to get a little bit, you know, I don't know. 11 odd days in a quiet house. You know what I mean? A full-on house. The only thing that makes it worse is it's during the international break, which means there's practically no football for me to watch. Now, bit of transfer news that has come out this morning, in that Arsenal are in pursuit again. And, well, one source has said that we're in pursuit of Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. However, on Sky, we're actually in pursuit of Anthony Gordon from Newcastle. Personally, I don't really give a shit because, quite frankly, I think we've signed too many players. I mean, we've signed a lot of 7 players now. Are we on? Like, it's so different from the Edu era, and this Berta guy's come in. Because we were lucky if we got 3 signings per window under Edu. But with Berta signing, it's been kind of refreshing. Bit weird that we've signed so many players. Diana, I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, no, it's weird because, like, well, you see all these rumours every season. Arsenal are going to sign so-and-so, and this, that, and the other. And normally, it never happens. But this season, almost every rumour that's come out has happened. And I'm like, huh? So I'm one of those people who's like, whoa, blimey. I think 7 or 8 we've made, haven't we? We've got, let's count them. Kepa Arrizabalaga, that's 1. Mosquera 2. And then there's Madueke. Hang on, Kepa Mosquera, Madueke, Norgard, Zubamendi, Gyökeres. Gyökeres. Who's the other one? Eze. Be a great thing. It would be a magical, beautiful. Just, oh, Diana, I can't tell you. Ahead of that Liverpool-Arsenal game on Sunday. I'm definitely not worried about that game on Sunday. I shouldn't be so worried because we've got the best striker in the world. Well, currently the best striker. And yeah, he's not better than like Ronaldo's and all that. He's not the greatest of all time, but as of current, best striker in the world. So No, it's been a bad. Well, no, I don't want to say bad, but not nice. The Premier League have not been nice to us with this start to the season. Højlund's finished at United, I think, because of Sesko coming in. A bit like Havertz for us. I think Havertz is practically finished now at Arsenal. It's going to be a free kick. Yes, I do hope that Coral systems are back underway tomorrow. And Ladbrokes, because obviously, if Ladbrokes have an issue, Coral are going to be exactly the same. Because they're practically the same brand, but under two different colours. Yeah, got that £5 cash match, so Argyle 3-0. Argyle. 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 I like Argyle. I do. I like them. It's a shame they don't perform very well because I quite like them. I thought they were, and the thing is, what makes it worse about Argyle is they bloody play well against Premier League side. Like, do you know what I mean? Oh, what a ball through, but too heavy for Alanga. And this is the thing. This is exactly, honestly, Argyle, in my opinion, people might say, Tom, what are you talking about here? But I genuinely think that that what it is with Plymouth Argyle is that they just, in the leagues they're in right now, they can't function. But for me, they're going to be one of those sides where they can play against Premier League sides. And they probably, if they came up to the Premier League, would do okay. But they just can't function against the EFL sides, if you know what I mean. Because I felt like they played really well against Manchester City at the Etihad as well. And they beat Liverpool. They're one of those sides, Argyle, where I think, yeah, as I said, they probably would have success if they ever were to reach the Premier League. But the thing is the leagues they're in, the Championship and the League One, they can't. That's not too bad. £9 each. Yeah, I mean, that Argyle analysis right there could just be a complete, you know what I mean? It just could, it might be irrelevant, but I might be wrong with it. But from what they showed, I mean, I didn't see much of the Liverpool game, but I saw enough to know, well, I mean, just the result, them being able to beat Liverpool, the worst side in the English football pyramid at the time. And then, in fact, they took the lead against Man City, didn't they? Of course, City came back, but it was just a composed performance, I felt. I mean, from what Argyle have shown us in the FA Cup of them against Premier League opposition, and they beat Brentford as well at GTEC. they probably can cope with the Premier League, but they just can't cope with the League One Championship. And there are some sides who just completely fall apart when they're playing opposition that are worse than them or lower down the table than them, if you know what I mean. Some clubs just like to play clubs that are bigger than them and perform well for that. And I think they're one of those clubs. If you were to put Argyle in the Premier League right now, I bet you they'd stay up. That's the thing with it. From what I've seen, Argyle probably would be okay in the Premier League, just not in the Champions, because, I mean, they can perform at the Etihad, they can beat Liverpool, they can beat Brentford. I don't know, man, with that one, but do you know what I mean? They had such a bad season, you know what I mean? It was constant defeats. I mean, Sam Matterface summed it up with his commentary for that Liverpool game where they beat them at home park. The worst side in the English football pyramid, outside of non-league, and they beat Liverpool. In the FA Cup, they showed us their best. Do you know what I mean? They showed their best performances when they were against Premier League opposition. So how can we get that? Is that going to happen again with Argyle? Is it going to be like that again? Will we see the best of Argyle against Premier League opposition? If that's what it's going to take to get that club back up, performing well, you know what I mean, playing Premier League opposition. Well, I mean, let's say they beat 2 or 3 Premier League sides again, because they beat Brentford, Liverpool, and they most certainly tested Man City at the Etihad. I mean, like I said, I think they went in 1-0 up at half. It might have been 1-0 half time, or just before half time. City got an equaliser, but yeah. I mean, I would be looking at them this season, because let's just say that they do end up nearly getting relegated or just getting relegated from League One. But then, oh, hang on a minute, FA Cup, they've beaten 2 Premier League sides again. That surely must ring alarm bells to firstly the clubs higher up, and also Wayne Rooney, if he's still manager, that, oh, hang on a minute. So how can I get this team to function against other teams? Because what I'd be thinking if I was Wayne Rooney, based on last season, is, well, hang on a minute. My team looked like one of the best teams in the Championship when they're against Premier League opposition. That's what I'm saying there. That's what could be the answer. Premier League opposition. Because clearly, when Argyle play a Premier League opposition, they're a completely different team. And they amaze people. Otherwise, it's, defeat after defeat, frustration. The fans are fed up with it. They must have been delighted. And they were like, well, hang on a minute, why is this happening in the league? 3 teams that are bigger than us, and we're playing like our prime best against them. There's got to be some kind of key to unlock the best out of Argyle other than Premier League opposition. Because there's no way for 1 minute that until that key is found to unlock the best out of Argyle without needing to play a Premier League side, they're not going to get anywhere near the Premier League. But most certainly they've shown last season that they can play against your Liverpools, your Brentfords, your Man Cities, even though they lost. So we'll see. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know, but some clubs are like that, where where they can perform well against Premier League opposition, even if they're really, really bad in, let's say, Championship or League One. Ilanga. Oh, it's a great tackle by Kirkes. I mean, in fact, before Derby had their financial crisis, which nearly put them out of, you know what I mean? Derby, as you would be aware, very nearly went out of business, but I can remember that before that financial crisis, they were exactly like well, sort of, because they never seemed to play well against the sides below them. But yeah, they were slapping Bournemouth and all that a lot, and you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Some clubs just like to play opposition that are bigger than them. Way bigger than them in Argyle's case. Share missed that one. If you send Argyle to the Etihad next week, no, let's not say Etihad. Let's say you send Argyle to, I don't know, Old Trafford next week, they'll win. I bet you. If you sent Plymouth Argyle to Old Trafford next week, they'd win. That's the thing with them. Still a lot. There's still a lot. Ooh. So yeah, we'll move off the Argyle subject because I'm sure people are getting a bit bored of hearing it, but it's most certainly puzzling as to how a team can perform so badly against opposition around them and in their own league, but yet you get the best tunes out of them in the Premier League teams. Like a broken jukebox, which only turns up for the big occasions. Canate picked off the ball too easily by Joel Linton. And Dan Burn. Harvey Barnes had his path blocked off by Sober's line. Yeah, I'm not sure I like this idea of Szoboszlai being played as makeshift right back. And, they've been caught out, Liverpool. Gordon, excellent. He's won a foul, surely. Yes, Simon Hooper has awarded a free kick. And there's no doubt about it, it's a free kick. He was grappled. Big set of couple of weeks for Simon Hooper, the Premier League referee. Simon Hooper's had 2 headline games in a row in this opening part of the season. He was at Old Trafford last week for Man United Arsenal. And now he's at St James's Park for another headliner. And Simon Hooper, 2 seasons ago, was a referee of the unknown. Sat back in Stockley Park, not doing anything. Now, he's doing the big games. Crazy. 2 seasons ago, if I heard the name Simon Hooper, I'm like, huh? He's doing all right, Mr. Hooper. Tell you what, he's doing all right. And I have got a bit of bad news actually for Arsenal fans, and you're not going to like this, but it's bad news as well. It's quite serious bad news in the fact that Chris Kavanagh, oh no, Chris Kavanagh. I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, it's Chris Kavanagh, and I'm like, oh, not Chris. Oh, that's what I'm being taught. It's Chris Kavanagh. Oh, we don't. Oh, fucking Chris Kavanagh, go away. I don't want. Oh, that's what I'm being told. That's the rumor. A sort of PGL posted like a list of who they think is going to do them. Oh God, yeah. I hope it's not him, but that's what I'm being told. It's a nightmare for us if Chris Kavanagh's the ref. Gordon, oh. Yeah, absolute nightmare for us. And Liverpool fans will be delighted if it is Chris Kavanagh, because Chris Kavanagh just hates us. I mean, we complain about Michael Oliver. Chris Kavanagh is just worse, probably. I mean, he sent off Declan Rice completely stupidly, and Trossard, both for kicking the ball away. It was ridiculous. No, that was Michael Oliver. Ignore me. No, I mean, at the point of Chris Kavanagh, I would just go for Anthony Taylor. And I used to hate Anthony Taylor, but I can't bear the thought of Chris Kavanagh. I'm sorry, but if it is Chris Kavanagh, I will just absolutely throw a fit. It better not be Chris Kavanagh, because I hate Chris Kavanagh. Oh. I know I might sound like a right stupid numpty, but honestly, it just fears me with Chris Kavanagh potentially being in charge of a game like that. It would just ruin it. Yeah, currently I used to really hate Anthony Taylor, but because of what Chris Kavanagh did at the Emirates, Arsenal-Brighton, sending Declan Rice off for kicking the fucking ball away, which was ridiculous. I hate him. Oh, honestly. And yeah, by the way, nobody's talked about it, but Brighton did pay him off. Trust me. Brighton's chairman stuffed his pockets. That's what they did. Clarky, welcome into you. Doing Clark, good to see you. Welcome aboard to you. Whatever his name is, Steve Parrott. No, that's Crystal Palace's owner. I don't know. Anyways, Brighton's chairman, yeah, stuffed cash down Kavanagh's pocket. Telling you right now. I think the best result and outcome for us, referee-wise, I'm actually going to go for a weird one, but I think that it would be really nice if PGMOL gave it to Peter Banks, because I felt like Peter Banks, he was a very, very underdog and unknown referee before that Arsenal Man City game, sort of one of the low-profile ones, but I felt like Peter Banks did a really good job with Arsenal Man City. So I would be open for that to be given to Peter Banks, because it'd be a nice opportunity for him. Don't give it to Chris fucking Kavanagh, though. I'd rather it be under Mike Oliver than Chris Kavanagh. And that's saying something. That's the one thing I ask. Do not give it to Chris Kavanagh, please. Because, yeah, if it is Chris Kavanagh, we are losing. That referee hates us. Tonali, nice move. Ball's loose, and Allison came and got it. So, yeah, I'll stop talking about referees, but anybody. You can pick honestly, PGMOL, you can pick anybody you like. Just do not go through with Chris fucking Kavanagh, please. Anybody but him. Anybody but him. For 10 minutes to go before half time, Liverpool have not been playing at their best. Gravenberg. Screamer. Would you believe it? Newcastle are behind. Well, so nutmeg on Gimareich. In off the post. And the team who've barely been in this game are ahead. So Liverpool 1 up. Burn. And upfield ball was cut out by Gravenberch, the goal scorer. Sounds like it's raining, you know. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, it's been a pretty miserable bank holiday for me. I've been pretty damn bored. I mean, I've literally been on that all day, really. Well, all morning. Bank holidays just don't work for me. Sucks all the life out of you. I just think it ruins Mondays. You know what I mean? Particularly when you've got Mondays off. Anyway, ruins them. It just ruins your Monday. Now, I think bank holidays need to be rethought and just basically Ilanga's ball. Instead of having bank holidays for everybody, there should be hundreds of bank holidays, but for different sectors of work. So, like schools or whatever can have bank holidays on certain dates, and you know what I mean? I don't think everybody should get to share the same bank holiday unless it's a public holiday. I think that's what needs to change. Bank holidays need to be rethought and reformed. Because when you're someone like me who's unemployed or on holiday or whatever it may be, or retired, it just slows down your day. And it ruins a perfectly good Monday, which is normally when you're feeling quite fresh because it's the start of the week. And I always feel shit the day after a bank holiday because normally I end up being really lazy on a bank holiday because I don't have any choice. You've got to wait half hour for a bus. So I mean, it's okay on a Sunday, You know what I mean? Sundays are different. Like, Sundays are Sundays. Do you know what I mean? Like, Sundays are fine, but when it's a Monday, your normal routine on a Monday, yeah, just, like I say, the only good thing really about where I am is that the bus company that we have, they only put Sunday bus times on a bank holiday Monday. If it's a bank holiday Friday or any other day of the week, they just do normal buses. I don't know. Let me know in the chat, people. Do you like bank holidays or not? Me personally, I think, like I say, I would completely get rid of. Well, I wouldn't scrap them fully, but I would reform them. Yeah, I mean, at least it's over now. I mean, we're back. We're back to every 10-minute buses. Yeah, I know. We're quite lucky around here. Our buses go every 10 minutes, so in both directions. And the frequency never drops lower than every half hour, so. But on a Sunday bus timetable, our route stops at stops about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever it is. And you're just like, oh, for God's sake, because basically you can't go out after. Well, you're having to book a taxi or. And you know my opinions on tax. I hate taxis. I don't like, but I don't like paying for taxis. I think taxis are a rip-off, so I try and avoid them. Well, Wayne, Guimaraes, Newcastle on their way. Barnes. Liverpool and Jones picked his pocket. Could be a card. Dampen. I shaved last night. Yeah, I shaved. Yeah, there was a lot of hair. I mean, I'd left it for quite a while, actually, this time around. But yeah, last night, right before dinner, I just went, yeah, this is coming off. Because it was so long. It was nostalgic to feel, but I don't know if you've noticed, but Simon Hooper's got this little camera on his chest of his shirt. Ref view. Let's have a look. Not a great chance from Gordon, is it? VAR checking for potential red card for serious foul play. I mean, it's right through the back of him, and it's going to be. So they're going to the monitor. Simon Hooper is going to the monitor here. I mean, it was through the back of his Achilles, so. It's about if he catches the Achilles. There. Studs hit the calf and then dragged down onto the Achilles. Yeah, for me, red card. Yeah. That's the contact there that we. Yeah. There you go. Studs, bring down the sock, touch his calf, and come down onto the. Yeah, red card. Yeah, red card. And Simon Hooper will announce his decision now after Tannoy. Yeah, red card. There you go. Serious foul play. So red card. Yeah, that little touch on the. It's all about if the studs touches. It's all about if the studs of Gordon touch the Achilles of Van Dijk, in which he did. If those studs don't touch the Achilles, he's fine. But because the studs go onto the Achilles, it's a red card. That's why it's a red card. We are into 2 minutes at a time, which we've already. Yeah. There's no point even putting it on, is there? No. I don't even know how much time there's going to be more now. It's a free kick. Foul by Gakpo. They need to go in at half time. Newcastle need to get their heads back together. They'd be the better side for the majority of the first half, but the goal against the run of play from Gavin Birch has rattled them. Van Dijk to Dan Burn. By the way, I've got no idea when the whistle's going to go in for half time because the 2 minutes went on and then we had that. So yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's a wild challenge, but a bit unfortunate, really, that it is a red card, Gordon, only in the sense of that the reason why the stud touches the Achilles, which is what's caused the red card, is because he got caught on Van Dijk's sock, which sort of forced his stud onto the Achilles, and that gave Simon Hooper and VAR no choice but to give the red card. Because it was fine, but then his stud got caught onto the sock of Van Dijk, and that pulled it down onto the Achilles. That's why it's a red card. So yeah, I'm sure that Gordon will be absolutely. It's all about the sock of Van Dijk, like I said, because like I say, Gordon's foot gets caught on Van Dijk's sock, which brings his foot down onto the Achilles, and what VAR are looking for is if his stud touches the Achilles of Van Dijk. Even though it was an accidental, because of it was still a red card because of that. Basically, if Van Dijk's sock does not get caught onto Gordon's stud, then in my opinion, it probably isn't a red card because the sock of Van Dijk causes his foot to touch the Achilles. And it's not necessarily about the challenge, because if it's on the fine, it's a yellow card. But because the foot of Gordon touches the Achilles, it's a red card. Yeah, because of the touch on the Achilles, like I said. And the reason why is because of the sock of Van Dijk. You watch it again, and you can just see the initial contact. That I'm accepting it. I'm agreeing. I'm analysing it. So what I'm trying to say is that the law there is that is not a dangerous challenge unless he touches the Achilles from the back. So like I'm saying, the only reason why that is a red card is because of the sock of Van Dijk. If Van Dijk's wearing shorter socks, because the contact of the stud originally is directly on the thigh of Van Dijk. That's not a red card. But what is a red card is the fact that the stud gets caught onto the sock of Van Dijk and gets dragged down onto the Achilles, and that's why it's a red card. I won't lie to you, serious foul play is not my specialty. When it comes to red cards, I am probably the best person to talk to when it comes to denial of a goal scoring opportunity or violent conducts. Those are my two main red card areas. Like, I know for a fact when something is dog so yeah. I caused a bit of uproar on Facebook with a comment on a Sky post, but in my opinion, if we're going back to that Leeds Everton game last Monday, you look at that situation with the penalty given away by Tarkowski. You look at that and you think, Well, because yeah, he's falling, but the lean, it doesn't matter because his arm was down by his side, yes, but Tarkovsky, he does lean. He doesn't. He's not falling. He leans. He does this. He leans his body to try and block the ball, and his arm with that lean looks unnatural. And if you ask me, it would be a denial of a goal score opportunity. But it wasn't enough for a red card. That's how I judged that one. It was like it was dog. So it was like because of that lean. And let's just face it, the ball was going in the back of the net. Whether you like it or not, that ball was going in the back of the net, and that lean with the arm from Tarkovsky directly blocks the ball from going into the goal. So that for me is clear dog-so category. So it would be the denial of a clear goal score opportunity. But like I said, it was not enough for a red card, clearly, because it was kind of accidental that it touched the arm. You know, he didn't have it up like that and stop the ball from going in or catch it. But most certainly that lean was purposeful, and it put the arm into a position to stop the ball from going into the back of the net because that ball was hitting the target. So that's why the penalty was correct for Leeds last week. A lot of people, I mean, it's easier to call denial of a goal score opportunity when it comes to the actual like fouls, if you know what I mean. When it's a foul or when it's a challenge, when somebody's clean through on goal, it's a lot easier to kind of do that dog-so category. But when it comes to handballs that are denial of a goal score opportunity, it's much more difficult because the difference is the handball accidental, but the arm's out of position, or is it purposeful? Is it intentful? And is it stopping a clear goal score opportunity? Here you are. Here's this Van Dijk one again. There. Look at that. Contact from the studs on the thigh of Van Dijk. But you see there. The stud just catches his sock. And that sock pulls that Gordon's foot down onto the Achilles. And that is why it's a red card. And the scrape. If Van Dijk's sock is a bit more tight around his leg, Gordon's stud doesn't catch the sock, and Gordon's foot doesn't go down like that and cause that kind of scratch. So that is why I'm telling you that if the foot of Gordon does not catch that sock, that is not a red card. Because the sock brings the foot down onto the Achilles. The original contact is on the thigh. But it was an accident, but a serious foul play accident, that the studs were dragged down onto the Achilles of Van Dijk, causing a scrape on his back of his leg. So yes, it was serious foul play. Yes, it was a red card, but it was accidental because clearly Van Dijk's sock was a bit too loose, meaning that Gordon's foot could get caught on it, and like I said, the sock dragged the foot down. And I know you might think, well, you just overcomplicating it, but I'm not. Because the rule is with that is the only way that can be a red card is if the studs touch the Achilles. Because as you're aware, the Achilles is quite an important muscle. It's that little tendon at the back of your the very back of your leg, which sort of leads up to like your ankle kind of thing. It's behind your ankles. The Achilles is this. If you feel your foot right now and you go to the back of it and you just sort of put your foot in a position where that tendon's coming out at the back. Feel that tendon. That tendon there is the Achilles. If that snaps, that's potentially career ending. Because that is literally what's holding that tendon's holding your foot up. I know we talk about the hamstrings, but that is actually the tendon that's keeping your foot connected to the leg, basically, really, besides the ankle joint. So yeah, in fact, just try and feel it if you can, because that muscle, you'll feel it. It's going up from the back of your heel, and it's just coming up. You'll feel it. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's connecting your leg to your foot, basically. And yeah, if that snaps, then it's bad. With the hamstrings, they're sort of out of the way. I mean, they're more or less deep into your thigh. You can't really. I mean, yeah, the hamstrings are difficult to find, but they're sort of on your upper leg where the thigh is. They're just in there, your hamstrings. And if you dig your fingers in a bit, you'll feel them. But yeah, the Achilles are basically the exact same type of tendon as a hamstring. The difference is it's on the lower leg. And yeah, you get your Achilles out now. You feel it because it's going all the way up. Probably about, I don't know, let's get it out. Let's feel it. So it's going all the way up. It keeps going up, 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 up. So it's so the Achilles is basically joining up to the muscle in your lower leg. And obviously, if that's not there, your foot can't really function because that tendon is joining the muscle up in your foot in your lower leg with the foot, and it's basically controlling your heel as well. Because as well, in a shoe, your foot's not going to be able to hold still in a shoe, is it? Really, without that muscle there. It is weird how the human body works and all these muscles, but yeah. Yeah, if you really tense up that area of your foot, actually, it will feel like a bone. your Achilles. But it's not a bone, it's a flexible tendon. And it's really important at the back of your foot. Yeah, what you want to do is, if you can't find it, you don't know what I mean. Yeah, just go to the back of your foot, and then tighten it up, tense up your foot, and then just try and find it. Once you've found the muscle, sort of let your foot kind of relax a bit, and then that tendon will start to go flexible, and you'll understand exactly what I mean by how it's the same kind of density as a hamstring. Second half then is underway. Cody Gakpo and Ekitike with the layoff, and it's an instant second half goal. Oh dear. The game slipped away from Newcastle, and it's really all about the May not taking the chances in the first half before that shot goal from Gravenberch. And they've lost their heads. They got the red card for Gordon. And now, within 20 seconds or so of the restart, they've conceded a second. A second which is probably taking away any form of a win from them. Did not expect this game to turn out this way. You wouldn't think that Newcastle would let the game slip like this. They need to get their heads together now, Newcastle. Otherwise, this could go horribly wrong. And really, you would have thought that they could have won this. But right now, this does not look like a side that's ready to go into the Champions League, does it? Gakpo brought down, free kick. Tonali's getting a little bit aggressive. The heads are gone. And I know there's a lot of noise around the club with the Isak situation. you've got to have better composure. I mean, if this goes in now 3-1, at 3-0, it's over. They need to jam their heads together and get themselves back straightened up. And they need to find a way to salvage 2 goals. I mean, the response to the consideration of the Gravenberch goal is incredible. Just the way their heads went. Do you know what I mean? Share clears it away. So Virgil van Dijk onto Jones. Guimaraes. Something for... Yeah, no. It's not clicking for him. At all. Guimaraes on Gravenberch. I think Simon Hooper saw a foul. Looks to have played the advantage. And Salah. Ekitike. Laurie inverts back through to Ekitike. And Guimaraes comes across and deals with the danger. Livramento is going to be pulled back for a foul here. Free kick. Yeah, you see when Joel Linton's having to go at the ref, stick that ref cam on. Should be using that more, really. Barely seeing it, but Simon Hooper, I don't know if you've noticed, but on his shirt, he's got a camera right in the middle of his shirt. I honestly don't know, mate. Tonali's got a shoulder problem here. Ooh. He looks in pain, Sandro Tonali. Actually. Potential dislocation of the shoulder. Yeah, well, I mean, he might not have to go off for that because he can pop it back. I mean, with a dislocated shoulder, you can just pop it back in on the pitch. Just need to pop it back in. And as much as people will say, well, he can still play with a dislocated shoulder. Yeah, he can. But he'll be in that much pain if his shoulder's dislocated. And yeah, your shoulder is a big, well, it's what it is. There's a blade, and then there's a ball socket, and your arm has got a ball right at the top of it, which goes into that socket. And yeah, sometimes if you knock it too hard, the shoulder can just become dislocated, and you've got to pop that ball in the top of your arm back into that socket. Not really. Yeah, you think about the pain of having a tooth pulled out. It's a bit like that, only in your shoulder. And Gibberish heads one back in, and it's 2-1. The captain delivers. And that's what they needed. Their heads were gone. They played a great first half up until the point where they conceded that goal and lost their heads. But this ball in from the long throw. And Gibberish just steps up like a captain and gets his head high enough to direct the ball down into the ground, and it bounces back up past the arm of Pope, of Allison into the back of the net. It's 2-1. Don't know, mate. Really, I'd just say watch on Sky, but Jones verts and yeah, Trippier's got it covered. They need to get that second goal now. They can get back on track, Newcastle, and we know they can. If they can get it back to 2-2 now, that'll put me in a world of good to get the game almost reset, wash away the previous events, and just egg them on to win. And you can understand the celebrations. Because when you just lose your head in a match and things go wrong and you feel like you perform well, but that one little thing's happened to cause the match to slip out of your hands and you pull one back, you're getting back on track, and it's a captain's goal almost sitting in Guimaraes. I mean, like I said as well, their heads will already be in a bit of a place. Here's the ref cam. But yeah, you think about it, I mean, it might not affect the players too much, but actually, the Isak situation will have a mental effect on the players because they've got a player in their squad who was supposed to be a part of their team and he's just striking and it's a big noise, you know what I mean, out around the club. And he was a big player. Yeah. I mean, some of these players, they've got to contain the noise. They've got to contain their emotions mentally with the noise around Isak. Because I tell you right now, some of those players will feel the effects of the Isak noise. And when you're containing that in your head and you're playing the match, but things go wrong for Gordon and maybe, it just gets too much. Things boil over and you lose your head and you do stupid things like what he did in the first half. I think there's a bit of that with Newcastle at the minute. Because they're a good team. They can play good football. But it just appears as though they're losing their heads a bit. Because there's that noise around the club, containing it. I mean, you think about it. When you're trying to hide something in your head, you know what I mean? You've got something going on at home or whatever it may be, something that's affecting you, but you've got to hide it in your head. And you've got to stay composed. If something else bad happens on top of that, it can just cause you to have a breakdown. You know what I mean? And just, you know what I mean? Or burnt. So yeah, I'm not blaming necessarily the performance. I don't think it's been a bad performance on Newcastle. Sometimes you just got to look at things from a bit of an outside perspective and think that some of those players definitely will be affected by the Isak noise. And every human being, when they hide in something in their head and something else happens on top of that, it just causes you to implode, really. And that's probably what's happened with Gordon. He's frustrated that they were the better team and they've conceded that goal. Because of all the things going on in his head, he's out of control. I mean, you know what I mean? You imagine being a player at a football club, right? Like Newcastle. And you've had a great season, you've won a trophy, but then all of a sudden you're going into matches and your big striker, you know what I mean? Your big main man, he's just striking and disrespecting the club. He's not being a part of the team. You imagine being a player in that situation. So I'm trying to be sort of empathetic, really, with the fact that there might be more going on in Gordon's head to cause him to be erratic with that challenge. But you've got to give Guimaraes his plaudits because he's not letting it get to his head. Instead, he stepped up like a captain and got his team back in the game. Gakpo completely pulls Cher down, grappling his shirt. Yeah, Tonali's going to go off, I think, yeah. The way he's holding his arm, there's definitely a problem with that arm there for Tonali. And Lewis Miley's going to come on to replace him. Oh, Joel Linton might have been impeded in the box. He went down. Cher's done brilliantly. And Cher keeps on turning. And he gets the cross away. And he drives it right across the face of goal. Brilliant from Cher. We have to forget this. We have to remind ourselves that Fabian Cher is a centre-back, but he's got some brilliant forward qualities. I mean, 1, 2, 3 times he's turned away from his man. He's being properly marked and grappled. Really good play from Fabian Cher. For a centre-back to be that good at the byline and have that strength just to keep holding the ball up and get that cross away when you've got somebody harrying you like that. There you go, look. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 shifts or turns there from Cher. Brilliant. And he's a centre-back. Guimaraes goes down. Didn't get the free kick. Ekitike had a heavy touch. Burn was blocked by Florian Wirtz. You can see the response. Gakpo shepherded out for the goal kick by Tino Liverpool. It's a strong mentality. You can see that. Like I've mentioned already, but all that noise going on around the club, some players will be affected, but the response and the mentality to keep going despite the events of the match. I mean, 90% of the ball in the last 5 minutes. Salah, and the ball was aimed towards Gakpo, but he went over his head. He tried to keep it in and get hold of it, stabbed his foot out, but well, 20 minutes. Can Newcastle pull it back? I think so, to be fair. I mean, I said they'd win. And they should. They should have been on their way to do that. Performance-wise, they won the first half, but I mentioned again the events, the goal, the loss of the heads in response to conceded the goal, the red card. That's probably taken the good chance for a win away from Newcastle in a game which you would have thought today on paper they could have won. And you can see, well, I mean, the lack of a striker is affecting them as well. Gordon getting sent off and no Isak. They're filthy rich, though. So they should be able to find a solution. Yeah, they're lacking that striker there. They're almost lacking a Gyökeres really there, kind of, really. Just to punch and harrow that defence of Liverpool, which is quite weak, really, but there's just no press. They keep moving the ball forward, but there's no press. That was the problem with us for a long time. We didn't have that striker to push and press. And in a way, City have got that problem as well. You look at City against Spurs, they largely rely on wide play, really, because of the fact that Haaland, yeah, he is a striker. However, Haaland doesn't really do anything other than score. He doesn't press. He doesn't move up the pitch. He doesn't create goals for himself. You know what I mean? He's just kind of like a feed me and poach striker. He's not a crazy for myself and dig it out for myself striker. If he had a Gyökeres in this team right now, Liverpool would be beaten. It would be about 4-2, I think, if Gyökeres was on that pitch right now. Joelinton, I think, is going to be unable to continue, but well, he's trying, isn't he? Well, debut for Jacob Ramsey. Side from Villa, can he add that spark and fire? They need to find it. And if they can't get the situation resolved with Isak, I mean, I don't think Isak will play for the club again. So he's going to be locked away, striking, stuck under a contract, doing nothing. They need to get a striker in. Once this game's over, they need to do some business. They need to get a striker in fast. Because they're experiencing the exact same problems we had, really. But now we've got that powerhouse in us. I mean, this team, Newcastle, is set up to play with a striker. It's not set up to play without a striker. They've got lots of creative wing players and midfield players, but they can't really do that much without at least Gordon, but really a striker on the pitch. It's a massive problem. Ramsey, Hall and Asula on. Joel Linton, Kieran Trippier and Harvey Barnes go off. They just need to keep winning set pieces, I think, Newcastle. A bit like Arsenal, really, when we didn't have a striker. They just need to keep winning set pieces. They're going to have to be a bit of a Stoke City and just get set pieces and get the ball into the box and hope that somebody can head it in. Because there's no striker. There's no power horse. There's nobody there to finish. There's nobody there to hurt that Liverpool defence. So they've got to find a way. And I think the way is set pieces and crosses now. Cher's got a pot. Well, Alisson's immediately just waving his arm about, stopping the fair play to Alisson. I mean, I don't know what's happened, but he just went, right, no, stop it. Just stop, straight away. It's the right thing to do when a player's down like that. I mean, once the camera panned towards Alisson waving his arm about, you looked at Cher and he's realised, oh my God, he's properly like, whoa. Yeah, it's good sportsmanship from Alisson to just stop that play because Simon Hooper did not recognise it, did he? Yeah, there you go. Look, there's tissue there. So there's obviously been some kind of cut or bleed on the head because yeah, he's got his eyes on the ball. Van Dijk's doesn't look like there's too much contact, but the hand of Van Dijk most certainly makes the contact with the back of his head. Could have been that wrist joint, maybe. I mean, if that wrist joint there hits you on the head, that's going to hurt. Because that wrist joint is bloody hard. So Ekisike is going off. Yeah, Verts as well has gone off. Connor Bradley and Federico Chiesa. Come on. Yeah, big impact last week at Chiesa. That late goal. Ramsey looking to create something and nearly did. They're going to keep battling Newcastle. Elanga's ball. Guimaraes. I think he just... Well, I think it's kind of accidental, really. He looks like he's going for the ball, but just mistimes his challenge, really, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah, Cher's not going to be able to continue. So Malik Thiaw. That change, by the way, as well, was a concussion substitute. So it was a separate substitute from the 5 allowed subs. Not that I'm saying I know how many Newcastle have used, but obviously, if a player has concussion, you are allowed to have an extra substitute for that with the correct documentation, I think. Run to ricochet off Gakpo. Throw in. 7 minutes to go. I can see there being like a 90th minute equaliser perhaps, but Chiesa. Oh, hang on a minute. Good challenge from behind, Burn. That's the way to do a challenge from behind. Time well. Livramento, Elanga. Can there be a bit of a creative spark? Well, Ramsey's on the turn, and it looks like there's space on the left for Hall. Ramsey's moved in field. Hall's cross is a bit too heavy. Off the head of Van Dijk, it's going to drop for a throw, and it's Liverpool's throw as well. They've thrown everything at it in the second half. Livramento back to Pope. 5 minutes, and it's going to be crunch. It's a really good mentality from Newcastle. It's a team that's mentally strong. Clearly. Just about now, can they get that equaliser? I mean, there were 2 bad moments in the match, really, that changed the complexion, turned the game on its head. But really, Newcastle probably would deserve a point if they can just find that one moment, that one chance. Bradley, yeah, good defending. Guimaraes brings the ball away, turns away from one. He's going to win the foul, is he? Yep, he is. And there's going to be a yellow card from Simon Hooper. Bradley in the book. Yeah, nice and high. Everybody up high. Pope's delivery or chance. Oh, it's going to be an equaliser. It is. And it's in. It's poked in. And it's William Asula. And the spirit of the Newcastle side clearly shows they've dug their heels in despite everything that's been going on around the pitch and on and off it. And this place in the North East has erupted. And like I've said all the way through the match, those players, you have no idea what's going on in their heads. Gordon's head was spinning for one moment, and it looked like it had threw away the game. But since that Ekitike goal second half, Eddie Howe's army have dug their heels in and showed their spirit and determination. And that's exactly what a team does. Fantastic spirit from Newcastle. Fantastic. After going 2-1 down, 2-0 down, yeah. After 20 seconds in the second half, their heads must have just started to really drop. And most teams would just go, right, oh no, 10 men, mess, 2-0. It shouldn't be this way. They've not give up though. It's exactly the mentality you need in football, not to give up. Play to the final whistle, no matter what's going on and off the pitch. And Elanga is going to have a burst of pace here, and he's got to the ball. Oh my word, if they win it. He's won a corner. Brilliant. Well done to you, Anthony Elanga. It's a really good... Again, digging his heels in. You can see he's out of breath, but look at him. Bursting his pace off to get to that ball. and gets his side an all-important corner. You'd imagine there's going to be a big number when it comes to added time. And it's going to be 11 minutes. Can Newcastle win it? Could they? Just could they? 11 minutes in added time. And Elanga's corner is met by Van Dijk, but it's going to go for a throw-in. I'm just amazed that they have not given up. Mental strength is so important in football. And Newcastle, in a lot of ways, have shown that in this match. Throw-in it's going to be. Well, Tino Livramento is going to stand there with a throw-in. Oh! Honestly, if they win this, Newcastle, if they win this, Guimaraes, sneaky, but he wins his side of corner, the spirit from the fans. It's just, honestly, it's such a good spirit going on around the stadium, such a strong mentality. And you can see it on the TV screens, how much the fans are behind their team. Because of that mental strength they've shown second half, they definitely deserve to win this match, I think, based on the fact that they've just not given up and they've been so mentally strong. And they've had to really dig in. Byrne was being held in the box by Canate, and he might claim that he was being blocked from advancing towards the ball to make a connection. Well, there's still 8 minutes. And the Liverpool fans are, they're looking at it and they're thinking, well, for fuck's sake. But as much as you can be frustrated as a Liverpool fan, you've got to admire the mentality of this Newcastle side. And I'm going to reiterate it because it's just important that people understand the Isak situation. These players are not going to be coping well with it. So, and it's going to be another corner. I mean, they're 10 men, they're strikerless. It's all, this is all about mentality, this. And Eddie Howe will show this match back to them. He'll show them everything. And he'll go, wow, boys, you're so mentally strong. That's what it is. They win this game, then that just shows why mentality is important in football. Because many teams would drop their heads the way this game went for Newcastle. They were enjoying the game first half, but it just came down on them like a ton of bricks with that red card and that goal. So Jones and Gakpo replaced by Harvey Elliott and Nugamaha. I mean, I didn't think the game was going to go this way, you know, when that second goal waiting from Ekitike. Brilliant from Newcastle. This is just the definition of digging your heels in to a team. And with 10 men, they still want to win the game. So goal kick. Yeah, look at that. Cheering everything, the Newcastle fans, but who can blame them? They've dug in like you wouldn't believe. So the fans and the players have every right to cheer and celebrate every little thing they've done right to pull this game back into their grasp. All lofts it up. Going to be pulled back for a free kick by Simon Hooper. You know, every football team will go through a period what Newcastle are having right now. I mean, when they were in the Champions League 2 seasons ago, they had that huge injury crisis. The team never stopped trying their best though. It's always been a case, oh, it's a winner. Oh my word. Nuga Moha. Oh my word. What a strike from the teenager. Little layoff from Subbers line. What's Simon Hooper given here? Well, Pope's going forward. Yeah, might as well. In goes the free kick. It's going to be a corner. He's going to give it Simon Hooper. And it's Lewis Hall with probably what will be the last kick of the game. Oh, it's punched by Allison. Ilanga's going to go for it. Guimaraes, it's gone out. I think that'll be it. Devastating for Newcastle, though. They dug in so hard. And it's all boiling up, as you can imagine. They've dug deeper than probably what they've done in a long time tonight. Well, they don't deserve it, but sometimes you strike a bit of luck. Newcastle beaten narrowly by Liverpool, but you've got to give them the credit for the mental strength once again. Final score, though, at St James's Park. Lucky Liverpool grab a 3-2 win. And that is it, folks, for Premier League Game Week 2. We are going to be back, though, with the Carabao Cup next week. We'll just quickly round up for you guys what has gone on over the course of this quite unusual Premier League weekend. Of course, Arsenal winning 5-0 against the Leeds yesterday on Saturday. Manchester City were beaten 2-0 by Spurs. Another victory for Spurs at the Etihad Stadium. A 5-1 defeat over Chelsea for West Ham. Burnley grabbing their first win of the season, beating Sunderland 2-0. Another really bad performance from Villa, and who were beaten 1-0 by Brentford. Finished 1-1 between Palace and Forest. Everton getting a first win at Hill Dickinson Stadium, winning 2-0 against Brighton. And it finished 1-1 at Craven Cottage. But it finishes Arsenal top of the pile and Arsenal top of the Premier League table. Until next weekend, folks, the Premier League will continue before the international break. Carabao Cup action, though, on Tuesday and Wednesday. But for now, bye-bye from me. Take care. Have a good night.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.